Yeah.
I'll tell you how it came about, because we've all known there's an energy crisis, and Point of Sandwick Trust have been looking for a way to help people in crisis in the Point of Sandwick area since last May, when we knew this was going to hit us. And our difficulty was that we didn't have the expertise or the knowledge to devise a scheme to make sure that the people who really needed help got the help necessary. Fortunately, at that time, we teamed up with Mona Consulting, Stuart Wilson and Ian Morrison, former employees of TIG, who are very familiar with all energy use. They know this area because we worked closely with them on the LED project, which ended a couple of years ago. So we decided to engage them to devise a scheme for us that would be arm's length from Point of Sandwick Trust, that would be confidential and discreet and would deliver real help for people in need during this energy crisis. There doesn't seem to be any resolution to it on the horizon, and we've had some very alarming news in recent weeks that people in the Western Isles have been admitted to hospital with hypothermia. Now, that is absolutely disgraceful, and we would not want anything like that to happen to any resident in the Point of Sandwick area. We're very pleased indeed that we've managed to launch this scheme, and that we have put quite a hefty sum of money towards it that we hope to disperse in the next few weeks to help people in need.
This is a fuel poverty scheme designed to tackle those in the deepest fuel poverty. We have a large category of people in the Western Isles, and here in Point and Sandwick area as well, who are spending more than 20% of their income on energy. That's a massive amount of money, and it classes them as extreme fuel poor. So that's a category we're aiming to help in the first instance, and we'll be doing that through assessing the property type that they have, how much energy they should be spending, because many people simply can't afford to spend the money they should be spending, so they ration or they switch off their heaters and they don't spend any money. So we're looking at what they should be spending to heat their home, assessing that, and then seeing whether they're eligible for assistance. And that assistance comes in various forms. The deeper they are in fuel poverty, so the more they're spending percentage-wise against their net income, the greater the financial help they'll get from Point and Sandwick Hardship Fund that we've set up and will manage in that confidential way. So when people come in, we'll assess them for, as I say, for their income, their expenditure in terms of fuel, and we'll then see if we can give them some help. That help will range from about £750 up to potentially £1,500. So it's really significant, because the average household in the Western Isles, if they're on an electric supply and they use electric for their heating, it won't be £3,000 like the government says is a standard typical home. If you translate that to here and the tariffs that we have, that's more likely to be £4,900 to £5,300. So they're paying way in excess of what the standard typical is, and that needs to be tackled. So we could be giving help to people who really need it at a significant time to help them in that way. We've looked carefully at what the levels of support are that come from the government in their energy price guarantee, and what we'll be doing is actually adding support on top of that. And you're right to say that it's changing, and as of March 2023, at the end of March, the £400 discount or grant that's been given by the UK government to every household will disappear. At the same time, the rates under the cap, the price cap that the government set, along with Ofgem, those rates have gone up about £500 for what we reckon as a house in the north of Scotland. So for £500 extra, £400 less of support, the average household will be paying about £1,000 extra, roughly. So we want to come in and try and make sure our support's targeted to helping those households who suffer from that condition. Householders can apply by phoning the confidential helpline, and they can speak to my colleague there, and he'll take their details, and in many cases can give them an answer there and then about whether they're eligible for support. Even if they're not eligible for support from ourselves, which is rare, I would say, if they're not eligible for that, we will look to signpost them to other partners and other agencies who can help them, perhaps with insulation, for instance, or benefits advice or financial advice. We'll look to try and maximise the support that the customer gets in that. If they do qualify for support, then we will then look to make a payment straight into their energy account, either with their electricity supplier or if they're on oil, with their oil supplier. And that has proven to be very successful so far with the customers that have come in so far. And I would say about 80% of the people are eligible that we're coming across at the moment, as we predicted, because it's such a crisis that people are facing. There's no cash in hand. We've avoided cash in hand, specifically to ensure that it goes on energy accounts, and people are very happy with that. We can split it in some cases between the electricity and oil accounts if people would like to do that, depending on what their usage is like. So we will adapt that to suit the household. Another way to get information, of course, is to come in through Point and Sandwick's website. And there we've got a dedicated page that if people can go in, they can get access in and they can leave information there for us, and we will then contact them from that. So there's multiple ways to make contact with us, and we're more than happy to take information that way. We'll also take referrals, of course, from family with the customer's permission to do that, or local councillors or whoever, interested parties. And we'll be working with other partners on the islands, for instance, CAB, Tangashigal, and other agencies who will perhaps be signposting people towards us for assistance.